Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. 5 days later, and the big dig still continues across parts of the north.
And this is one big portion that we're doing is by attempting to uncover all these fire hydrants.
Sudbury now also banning parking on city streets. Plus, the pain at the pumps. Gas prices continue to rise.
I think it's quite high and it's skyrocketing.
Experts say the impact is also being felt by small businesses. And layoff day is quickly approaching at Algoma Steel.
We're going to see a lot more people coming through the door because, as you know, Monday there's going to be at least probably, I would estimate 300 people that will be laid off.
Not all of the impacted will be leaving, however, on the 23rd.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. Snow once again the top story. We're 5 days in and still many people continuing to dig out from Monday's record-setting storm. Public Works crews clearing snow from roads across Greater Sudbury. Workers from another city department are doing the same for critical infrastructure needed by fire services. CTV's Angela Gemmell starts us off tonight.
These volunteer firefighters make quick work of shoveling snow away from a fire hydrant. They've been busy over the past few days.
Obviously, there's a lot of competing priorities with snow removal right now. So anything fire services can do to help out the community, help out the city. And this is one big portion that we're doing is by attempting to uncover all of these fire hydrants.
Moline came to visit the crew to thank them for their hard work. Greater Sudbury Fire Services has asked its career and volunteer firefighters to do the same thing in their own neighborhoods.
In a fire, especially structure fires, every minute counts. So it's very crucial that that hydrant is, number one, you can observe where it is and it is accessible for the crews to do, as it may cause delays which could cause further damage to the structure and potentially if there is a rescue or evacuation required.
Meanwhile, 2,300 fire hydrants in Sault Ste. Marie are the responsibility of PUC services, which try to keep them accessible in all types of weather. A spokesperson says it's hard to say how many need to be cleared after Monday's storm.
It is a continuous process throughout the winter, and also that's because weather conditions, such as drifting, new snowfall, frequently require crews to revisit previously cleared locations. So that's why it's difficult to get that specific number.
Despite fire crews in Sudbury working diligently to expose hydrants, Moline asks residents to do their part to help.
We never know when a fire is going to happen, so we'll need those access. Every second counts, so it's critical that they are exposed.
With 6,300 fire hydrants across the entire city of Greater Sudbury, Moline estimates it could take between 2 to 3 weeks to expose them all. But he also adds that so far they haven't been to a fire call where the nearest hydrant was buried under snow. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Garson.
Meantime, police are warning people about snow removal scams. In a social media post, police say they are receiving reports of individuals offering snow removal services online. The scammers require partial payment up front, then don't show up to do the work. Police are reminding the public to be cautious of unsolicited offers, and avoid paying up front. As the cleanup efforts continue in Sudbury, city officials have initiated a parking ban on all municipal roads until further notice. The city says with all roads now having received at least a first pass and basic access is restored, crews have shifted focus to clearing laneways and cul-de-sacs along with widening roads. Efforts can be delayed with cars parked on municipal roads, so it's implemented a 24/7 ban on all spaces except for paid parking until the significant weather event declaration is lifted. As crews continue to clear and widen roads, the city says it's also been forced to suspend a roadside collection of garbage, green cart organics, and blue box recyclables for at least another week. Garbage will now be the weeks of March 30th and April 6th. Green cart and blue box will be on March 30th. Yellow box recycling carts will be March 30th and April 6th. The landfill recycling center, leaf and yard trimming collection, furniture, appliance, and electronic pickup. Requests for new carts and toxic taxi appointments are unavailable until further notice. In other news, Timmins police have identified the victim in a shooting on Dwyer Avenue as 48-year-old Yannick Boulay. Boulay was shot March 14th and later died of his injuries. Police say the suspect and victim are believed to have known one another. No word yet on any arrests in the case. Luckily, there were only minor injuries following this crash in North Bay Thursday night. OPP releasing these pictures involving a Dodge minivan on its roof at the intersection of Algonquin Avenue and Highway 1117. Police say a 79-year-old man is being charged with failing to stop at a red light. The coroner is investigating a second death this week. This one, a 43-year-old man at a homeless encampment in Sudbury. Emergency crews were called to the site around 10:30 a.m. Thursday. No word yet on a cause of death, but police say foul play is not suspected, adding that there's no indication the death is related to the recent weather event. Another person died at the encampment late Tuesday evening. The second suspect wanted in connection to a break and enter at a financial institution in North Bay has been arrested. A 32-year-old man was picked up by police on Tuesday in the 300 block of Lakeshore Drive. The break and enter occurred March 8th, and the other suspect in the case was arrested March 10th. Meanwhile, a pair of North Bay men were arrested for a robbery at a home on Main Street East over the last 2 days. Police say the suspects entered a home, threatened the occupants with a weapon March 12th, and stole $1,200 in controlled substances. A 37-year-old suspect was arrested Wednesday at the North Bay Police Station. A 32-year-old suspect was arrested yesterday not far from where the robbery took place. Police say the suspects were known to the victims. While motorists across the north are watching the numbers climb at the pumps, small businesses say the rising cost of fuel is becoming a real challenge for their operations. CTV's Amanda Hicks has more from Sudbury.
It's not just motorists in Sudbury who are feeling the pressure at the pumps. Prices are still trending high despite a dip of 2 cents overnight.
I think it's quite high and it's skyrocketing.
The impact is also being felt among small businesses, according to the Canadian Federation of Independent Business.
50% of them say fuel prices, once again, are a cause for concern in terms of the costs that their operations have to manage. Imagine that much change in 1 month means the fuel prices aren't a small thing. And why is that? Well, because it's part of the supply chain. We're all going to feel it at some point in time.
It's a feeling shared among the rideshare industry. Northern Ontario's own U-Ride says the increases have been especially challenging for their drivers.
We added a gas surcharge that goes 100% to the drivers. So it's $1 per trip across all Ontario markets at the moment. And so, yeah, that's something we're doing right now, and we're closely monitoring. So, again, hopefully for everyone's sake, the prices drop.
Gas analyst Dan McTagg says for Northern Ontario, part of the price hike is simply the cost of getting the fuel here.
Fuel has to be brought in from the Toronto region, up here to Sudbury into the northeastern parts of Ontario. And so what would usually be a 3-cent hit for retailers who have to buy it could be as much as a 4 or 5 cent a liter increase.
McTagg expects prices to rise a few cents this weekend. He adds the bigger picture involves the conflict in the Middle East, saying the longer that remains uncertain, the more we'll feel the pinch when the switch to summer gas hits in April. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
Looking at gas prices around the north, 2 Indigenous stations in North Bay and Sault Ste. Marie remain the cheapest at $1.46 and $1.51.9 respectively. Elliott Lake has some gas at $1.56.9. The lowest we could see in Sudbury was $1.57.9. That was Costco. Timmins cheapest came in at $1.64.9, and Timiskaming Shores had a gas station selling in New Liskeard for $1.64.4. Next Monday comes the day that many Algoma Steel employees have been dreading. It's the day printed on their layoff notices from last December. As CTV's Corey Nordstrom reports, not all of the 1,000 employees will be gone on the 23rd, but many of them are planning for life after the steel plant.
Monday will mark the final shift for many workers at Algoma Steel. Union officials have been working to ensure those laid off are being treated properly as hundreds leave their posts.
We're all humans making all these decisions on who should stay and who shouldn't based on seniority, and people are phoning in. We're having to go back and double check our work to make sure that it is based on the collective agreement.
Since early January, the Power Action Center has been the site of training and education about the options available for these workers and contractors. As of today, they've had over 400 sign-ups for their assistance. Many of the Algoma Steel employees set to be laid off have already retired, resigned, or are on sick leave, meaning much less than 1,000 will be off the job come Monday.
People wanted to wait and see what their status, layoff status would be. But very soon we're going to see a lot more people coming through the door because, as you know, Monday there's going to be at least probably, I would guess, estimate 300 people that will be laid off initially. And then, so many more after that.
Power Center officials say they are preparing for things to get even busier next week as things become clearer for laid-off employees.
There's one session going on at number 2 gate at Algoma Steel in their computer lab, and next week there's going to be, it's booked all week here with the Service Canada rep here to go through the understanding the rules of play for EI, as well as getting them registered into a Service Canada account.
This afternoon, the federal government gave an extension to its employment insurance special measures that steelworkers union officials have been calling for in the Sioux.
People are making hard decisions with that. Now with this announcement, it looks like the members will have an extra 6 months to make the decision whether they want to maintain their recall rights with the company or if they want to ask for their severance and move on with their life.
Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Kirkland Lake and Englehart residents might have noticed something different driving into town tonight. How about the welcome signs all lit up in blue? It's the idea of Blanche River Health Foundation as part of Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. They're also doing it as part of their Let's Get to the Bottom of It campaign, in which they are hoping to raise funds to purchase 2 new scopes for the hospital. Its executive director telling CTV News it's becoming a more prominent issue because more people under the age of 50 are being diagnosed.
The first and foremost message is to get the screening done. We really want to encourage people. A lot of people shy away from colorectal cancer screening because they're shy about the colonoscopy prep or the procedure itself. So we really want people to understand that it isn't a big and scary procedure. It's actually quite easy in comparison to what you might think. And it is one of the best ways to prevent a really scary, sad cancer diagnosis.
They're hoping to raise $100,000 by the end of this month. More information can be found on Let's Get to the Bottom campaign, along with the ability to make donations on their website at bottom.brhfoundation.ca. Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Looking good all lit up in blue, Kirkland Lake. Coming up, we will have your full weather forecast. For now, a look at the weather warnings we have in place tonight. Once again, that stretch of Highway 17 from Sault Ste. Marie to Wawa and beyond along the Lake Superior coastline under a special weather statement. Snow expected tomorrow. Total amounts of anywhere between 5 to 12 centimeters of potentially heavy snow. Here are the current conditions as we see them right now. -6. We're seeing some light snow up in Kapuskasing. That's the coldest spot at the moment. Not too bad. Dramatically warmer compared to yesterday. -4 in Timmins, -3 in Timiskaming Shores, -2 in Sudbury, 0 in Sault Ste. Marie. Gore Bay gets the hot spot at the moment, 1 degree, as does Parry Sound. -3 in North Bay. We'll have details after the break.
Welcome to the weekend. It's finally here, and with it, an off day of snow for today, but we do have more snow in the forecast for tomorrow. As you are about to see, forecast radar, this is what's going to be sitting over northeastern Ontario tomorrow. We'll get into some of the numbers, of course, anywhere from 10 to 15 centimeters in some locales. Then we get a bit of a break and even more flurries after that. Sudbury Nickel Belt, your 7-day forecast for tomorrow. Late afternoon, early evening, 5 to 10 centimeters. In the evening, -1 your high. Chance of flurries Sunday. Monday, some cloud cover at -3. Here we go with that flurry activity. Not 30%, but 70% chance. High of 0, -5 Wednesday with the sun and cloud. And Thursday, 70% chance of snow. Sault Ste. Marie Algoma. 5 centimeters during the day, 2 centimeters at night with a high of 0. So a bit of a variation from Sudbury. Sunday, some cloud cover +1, -2 Monday, some sunshine. Tuesday, chance of flurries at 2, -4 Wednesday, sun and cloud, and the chance of snow at 70%. Thursday, +1. In Timmins, Conquer and Kapuskasing, here we go again, 5 to 10 centimeters at night, late afternoon. Early evening and continuing, -2 your daytime high. Sunday, some cloud cover, -4, -3 Monday, sun and cloud. Chance of flurries Tuesday, -2. -9 Wednesday, sunshine, and the chance of flurries Thursday at 40%. Daytime high of -3, but a cooling trend starting at the beginning of the week right across the Northeast. Your evening temperatures will be colder. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, snow tomorrow, 5 to 10 centimeters. Late afternoon, early evening, high of 0, -3 Sunday, chance of flurries. Monday, sun and cloud, -2. -2 once again Tuesday, chance of flurries at 70%. Wednesday, sunny skies, -7, and 70% chance of snow come Thursday at -3. Those evening temperatures, -15, 16, -18 again. So cooling down next week at night. North Bay, West Nipissing. Snow tomorrow, 5 to 10 centimeters. Late afternoon, early evening, high of 0. Chance of flurries on Sunday, -1. -2 Monday, cloud cover. Tuesday, chance of flurries, 70% there, high of 0. -6 on Wednesday, sun and cloud. And Thursday, 70% chance of snow, high of -3. So Ian, enjoy the off day, off night without snow. More snow coming into the forecast in the northeast, especially Greater Sudbury, by late tomorrow afternoon, early evening. Back to you.
Hard to believe it's spring. Thanks, Rick. Well, the Federal Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship was in Sudbury celebrating International Francophone Day. CTV's Madison Merrier has more on her announcement.
Lena Metlaj-Diab joined MP Vivian Lapointe to announce funding in attracting Francophone people to Northern Ontario.
This program supports concrete initiatives that help communities attract more Francophone talent from outside Quebec and grow Francophone minority communities. $1.5 million.
Funding will be separated into 3 programs. Francophone Global Talent Mapping to attract workers to Canada to meet labour market needs, a pathway for students at Université de Hearst to settle in Canada post-studies, and a program to help inform and prepare Francophone immigrants.
Sudbury was selected as one of 13 communities all across Canada to be a welcoming community, une communauté accueillante, which means that we attract and get special programs for French-speaking, les nouveaux arrivants, French-speaking newly arrived Canadians.
We have seen quite decent growth in Francophone immigration in Sudbury in the last few years, both like in terms of services available to newcomers and to the number of newcomers. Just last year in 2025, there was 480 new permanent residents Francophone in Sudbury.
The 3 new programs fall under the Francophone Immigration Support Program, with the goal of countering the decline of Francophone minority communities outside of Quebec.
We know that especially in rural areas of Northern Ontario, that immigration is linked to prosperity. You have communities and mayors that want to grow the population. They want to address skill shortages and gaps in those in that workforce. So immigration is key to that.
There's numerous programs, and it's been years that there's some efforts. The first target from the federal government actually dates back more than 20 years. But for long, we didn't have a lot of progress. It's in the last few years that we saw a huge increase in numbers.
Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
And as part of Francophonie Month, Ontario's first Francophone Lieutenant Governor will be visiting West Nipissing next week. On Monday, she has stops planned at Town Hall along with a Women in Leadership discussion, and Tuesday she has plans to visit the local grade schools and high schools along with Club Richelieu for its Souper de la Francophonie. The Nipissing Social Services Board is working towards 4 new early-stage housing development projects. The board was able to secure seed loan funding from the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation. The money will be used for essential pre-construction work. The locations include 365 Lakeshore Drive in North Bay, Manitou Street in North Bay, 70 Principal Street East in Verner, and 6 Gallery Lake Road in Whitney. The board chair is hoping these projects will start soon.
A lot of it depends on the Housing Accelerator Fund from the federal government, and obviously last week they were debating that in Ottawa. If in fact those housing dollars come forward, then those projects could actually take off.
Work through this funding may include environmental assessments, geotechnical studies, site investigations, and other tactical and planning work. Striking West Nipissing bus drivers held a day of action on the picket line with support from other school bus drivers and unions today. Bargaining between the union and the bus company Alouette bus lines are at a stalemate, and drivers have been picketing for about a month. Since it started, some drivers chose to cross the line and return to work, which disappointed union representatives. The main issue is wages. The 80 drivers are demanding a better fare at just over $21.
They offered us $20 an hour, up from $18.11, which are quite poverty wages. It's just above minimum wage. And meanwhile, 80 kilometers down the highway, they get $25.44 at Northway Bus Lines, which is also a steelworker represented group.
CTV News did reach out to Alouette. We did not receive a response. Previously, Alouette has stated the company remains committed to a new collective agreement with the union and the school bus drivers. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. There's a lot on the line for two of our OHL teams in terms of playoff positioning. More on that after this. All three of our OHL teams have made the playoffs, but it was a big night for at least two of them as they continue to duke it out for fourth place in playoff positioning, starting with the Sioux. And let's just say Captain Brady Martin got things off on the right track.
Luce gets checked by Brady Martin over to Menyosa, going in. Menyosa to the side of the net with it. Rebound, they score!
It would be the first of two goals for Martin. Also a little bit of sweet revenge situation after falling to Saginaw earlier in the week. The Hounds going to take this one at 5-1. Martin gets the first star of the game. It was a tough one, a lot of back and forth out in Brantford as the North Bay Battalion took on the Bulldogs. Things were tied into the final minute of the third. The troops fall tonight 6-5. And in Sudbury, the Wolves and the Steelheads would take this one to a shootout, but the Wolves come out on top, besting Brampton by a score of 3-2. Over in the NOJHL, where the postseason is underway, the Sudbury Cubs make quick work of Kirkland Lake tonight. They take a 2-game lead now in their best-of-7 series, and the Sioux Thunderbirds best the Timmins Rock 4-3 in overtime. The Sioux Eagles beat the Powassan Voodoo 7-4 in Game 1 of their series, and a strong third period from Hearst gives the Lumberjacks the 4-3 win over the Espanola Paper Kings. The Sioux College Cougars said goodbye to Division II hockey last night in style. These women made history yesterday, winning their fourth national title, making the Cougars the winningest team in ACHA Division II hockey. They shut out Manitoba's Assiniboine College 1-0 in the final. The Cougars will play Division I hockey starting next season. Ontario Premier Doug Ford is planning to outlaw ticket resales that force customers to pay substantially more than the original value. The provincial government is planning to amend the Ticket Sales Act. The move would make it illegal for tickets to concerts, sports, and other live events to be resold for more than their original cost. It's an issue that has plagued Toronto during major events in recent years, like the World Series and Taylor Swift's 2024 concert tour. Many paid thousands more than what the ticket originally cost. The government says the changes will be tabled in the coming days. The city of Timmins says it will be running an extended Sunday service due to a driver shortage this weekend on Saturday. That means buses will start at 6:30 in the morning Sunday and run once an hour on all routes until 6:30 at night. Evening service after 6:30 will be the standard Saturday service. Finally tonight, Laurentian University's MacEwan School of Architecture has a creative and educational display at Bell Park in Sudbury. First-year students have designed and built ice stations. The original idea was for the structures to be on Ramsey Lake skating path, but it's closed due to weather conditions. One structure is called Duck, and we talked to students about the concept and design.
It's kind of like, it's double entendre. I mean, you have to duck to get through it, but then we also made it kind of like wings feathering together like a duck wing.
We originally planned for it to be on the ice, so the whole point was to plan it around water, the park. So then we started off with our first idea about waves, then that transformed into more wings like ducks, and then that's where we pretty much got our idea, duck, and also that you have to duck under it as well.
The idea behind the school was that we would really be able to somehow contribute to the community. And so when this project was initiated, probably 12, 13 years ago now, the idea was that we would design something for the public, right? So that the public could be a part of the education of the students and experience something that the students are making.
5 structures will be on display in Bell Park over the next 2 weeks. Those get creative every year. Very cool. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Friday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you right back here on Monday night. Until then, thanks for watching. Good night.